Hello and welcome to the history of the U.S.S. Enterprise, NCC-1701. The U.S.S. Enterprise was a 23rd century Constitution-class starship operated by Starfleet. In the course of her career, the Enterprise became the most celebrated starship of her time. In her 40 years of service and discovery, through the upgrades and at least 2 refits, she took part in numerous first contacts, military engagements, and time travels. She achieved her most lasting fame from a 5-year mission, 2265 to 2270, under the command of Captain James T. Kirk. Service history. Construction. In the early to mid-23rd century, at least 12 heavy cruiser-type starships, the Constitution class, were commissioned by Starfleet. Constructed at the San Francisco Fleet Yards in San Francisco, California, the Federation vessel registered NCC-1701 was christened the Enterprise, in a long line of ships of the same name. Captain Robert April oversaw the construction of the ship's components as well as her initial trial runs. Larry Mavick was stated to be one of the designers of the Enterprise herself, while Dr. Richard Daystrom designed its computer systems. Robert April's command. The Enterprise was launched in 2245 under the command of Captain Robert April, with Christopher Pike serving as Captain Robert April's first officer. Christopher Pike's command. As Captain Christopher Pike commanded the Enterprise from 2250 to 2265, his missions included the voyages to Rigel, Rega, and the Thalos system. Pike's half-Vulcan science officer Spock, who served under him for over 11 years, ultimately became the starship's longest-serving officer. James T. Kirk's command. In 2265, the Enterprise was assigned to another 5-year mission of deep space exploration, and command was passed to James T. Kirk. The ship's primary goal during the mission was to seek out and contact alien life. Captain Kirk's standing orders also include the investigation of all quasars and quasar-like phenomenon. Beyond its primary mission, the Enterprise defended the Federation territories from aggression, aided member worlds in crisis, and provided scientific expeditions and colonies in her patrol area, with annual examinations and support. Discoveries. From 2265 to 2270, the Enterprise visited over 70 different worlds and encountered representatives of over 60 different species. More than 20 of those were first contacts with beings previously unknown to the Federation, including stellar neighbors like the First Federation and Gorn, voyagers from the Kelvin Empire in the distant Andromeda, and powerful non-corporeal entities like the Thasians, Trilene, and the Organans. 2 discovered species were the first known examples of silicone-based life forms, the Horda and the Excalibans. The Enterprise was the first Federation vessel to survive an encounter with the galactic barrier. The ship's warp drive and other systems, however, were critically damaged, and casualties totaled 12 crew members and officers. By stardate 4657.5, the Enterprise was traveling through space in a region hundreds of light years further than any Earth starship had explored. The reality of time travel, externally influenced, had been known for over a century, but following 2 accidental temporal displacements, the Enterprise became the Federation's first deliberately controlled time ship. Observing the death throes of the PSI 2000, the crew suffered from polywater intoxication, and the Enterprise nearly lost orbit after an engine shutdown. A previously untested cold start via controlled matter-antimatter implosion saved the ship, but the high-speed escape from the planet's gravity well caused the ship to travel 3 days into the past. In 2267, while escaping the gravitational pull of a black star, the Enterprise was hurled through space and time to Earth of 1969. The crew developed and executed a method to return to their own time by warping around the sun's gravity well in a slingshot maneuver. A year later, the Enterprise was ordered to repeat the recently proven slingshot event and return to Earth's past on a mission of historical observation. Some missions of discovery confronted Enterprise with entities and mechanisms that threatened great swaths of Federation and neighboring space. An ancient planet killer, fueled by the consumption of planets it destroyed with its anti-proton weapon, approached Federation population centers in 2267. It required the combined efforts of the Enterprise and her sister ship, the U.S.S. Constellation, to destroy it. 1 year later, in 2268, a single-celled organism of colossal scale emitted negative energy, toxic to humanoid life, killing the entire Vulcan crew of the U.S.S. Intrepid. The Enterprise penetrated the cell's interior and destroyed the organism before its imminent cell division threatened to overwhelm the rest of the galaxy. Battles. The nature of its mission of exploration meant that the Enterprise was frequently the only Federation military asset in a little-known, otherwise undefended frontier. When called into harm's way, the ship regularly did so with little chance of imminent support against previously unknown enemies and threats. Happily, the Enterprise's earliest engagements of its 5-year mission against a deceptively powerful starship called the Thesaurus ended with an amicable first contact with the First Federation in 2266. Following the destruction of a colony on Cestus III, a surprise attack from a previously unknown species led the Enterprise to battle and pursue an evenly matched Gorn starship in 2267. The Enterprise played a fox for 4 of her sister ships in a War Games problem on Stardate 4729.4. As part of the M5 drills, equipped with the new M5 Multitronic unit computer and stripped of most of her crew, the Enterprise became a killing machine, crippling the USS Excalibur and killing its entire crew before Kirk could reassert control. Casualties. Service aboard the Enterprise proved to be hazardous duty. Between 2265 and 2269, individuals who were killed while assigned to the ship included at least 58 officers and crew, 13.5% of the standard complement of 430. Background information. The Enterprise and its interiors were designed primarily by Matt Jeffries. A 3-foot demonstration model was completed in November 1964 by the Howard Anderson Company to show to Gene Roddenberry. After getting his approval, an 11-foot model was then constructed and was finished in December 1964. The 11-foot model was modified for TOS, where no man has gone before, and again for the regular series effect shots. Reused footage of all 3 stages of the 11-foot's model appearance are seen mixed together in TOS. Thank you for watching the history of the USS Enterprise. Special thanks to Memory Alpha for all information you heard today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you can. If you already have, thank you, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.